Hello world, this is RW Bivins, and you're about to look at the official worldwide reveal of my current game studio project. It's called Project 37, and it takes place on the fictional island, or excuse me, New Haven. Um, Obviously, since this is an early development build and a mishmash of two of those builds, one of them, which you're looking at right now, has reduced detail distance, but it does have life, such as the butterflies that you can see here. And then, of course, as you get closer, some of the terrain details show up. I'm sorry if the video is a little jaggedy. Obviously, I expressed my concerns over developing the game further with the current hardware available to me. I actually had to borrow a computer to screen capture this with Fraps, and I purchased a license for that prior to doing this clip. You will notice that there are quite a few little glitches and bugs. That is because it's still early in development. But I want more than anything for this video to at least give you a solid idea of the concept that we're currently working with and how the layout of this world is. What you're looking at right now is an area of the game I call Knots Landing, and then there is a marina close to it. There's a lot of world to explore. It's very open. When I originally set out to start this project, my idea was simply to make a more modernized version of a classic first-person point-and-click adventure game. I wanted to tell an intriguing and unique story. I wanted it to be rooted in sci-fi. As we are currently about 8.5 months in development, the idea for the concept has evolved over time. Originally, you were going to be dead, then it was going to be an artificial world. Well, let's put it this way, like if Second Life had become a virtual reality that people live in, after they had passed. We finally settled on an idea that I believe is truly unique and believable. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that this kind of science fiction story hasn't been told before, but I will say that it certainly hasn't been told in the way that I'm telling it. Obviously, a lot of the gameplay is missing. You're looking at me primarily walking around and showing you various areas that have been designed. I have spent a great deal of my own personal money into funding this project. Everything you see here is either a licensed asset that I have personally paid for out of my own pocket, or a licensed asset or developed asset that I've modified heavily, such as the New Haven Regional Airport area here. You could see some signs I did for it. There are a lot of things that could be said about doing open world game development. There was no clear idea when I began this project on how I was going to accomplish it. Obviously, I learned as I went. Primarily in the course of any given day, I'll spend a couple of hours looking into tutorials and design videos on how to use the Unity engine effectively to make use of its tools and technologies that are available to me to try to make this into the best looking and best performing game as possible. There are quite a few optimizations that could be done that I'm having issues with, once again related to the hardware limitations of my current system. Coming up, I'm going to show you a couple of the other areas in the game. We primarily looked at the airport area, Knots Landing, and side bay areas. As I said, this is two separate, mishmash clips of two different prototypes. This is an area known as Bayside, and this plays a very pivotal role in the game's story. The island and the lighthouse will actually have a great deal to do with what I'm calling the grand finale of this project when you get toward the end of the game. There's going to be some interesting puzzles, of course, for people to try to figure out. There's going to be plenty of Easter eggs. As I said in my original pitch video, I think something that's actually truly unique to this, and that's going to be fun, is there's going to be additional DLC where you go on a literal Easter egg hunt and you go around the world looking for Easter eggs. I think maybe as time goes on, if enough people are interested in funding this project to its full potential with me, that we can actually have Easter eggs named after contributors. Stretch goals, if the project is successfully funded, To give you an idea, I hold college level certifications in 3D animation and modeling, cinematography, videography, multimedia production, so I can do a lot of the custom 3D animations and modeling that I would like to put into this game. There's very, very specific needs, and obviously a license for Maya would not hurt to do it effectively and give it the best bang for the buck. We're going into the main town right now. There are homes in here. There's an athletic complex. There's a couple of structures I've hidden from this build because I don't want to give too much of the story away. As you can see, the sun does need to be improved. There will be, however, real-time puzzles and real-time effects related to the actual aspects of certain puzzles in the game. Every experience will be different. Some days, some players will load this up and there's a storm. Other times, the weather will be clear. That's really up to the players to experience as they go. It literally is a dynamic, living, breathing world where every experience depends on how you make it and how you play it. As a longtime fan, gamer, and player of adventure games, this title was heavily inspired by such classics as Myst. Some aspects you might find inspired by the Syria classics, the Gabriel Knight series. I was heavily influenced in my development by people like Tim Schafer, Ron Gilbert, Robin and Rand Miller, the former staff at Trilobite. I believe the time is now for a title like this because, well, let's face it, I mean, companies such as Telltale Games, the Chinese Room, and many others have started to bring this genre back, and I think that I believe that I'm producing something that will take advantage of modern technologies available in game development and revolutionize the way people think about open world games and adventure games. Bear with me, I do apologize. I had a cold today. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much and you guys enjoyed what you see. Thank you so much. Peace.